What's up, everybody? Happy Saturday! It's time for the half hour of horror with me, Aaron McLean, and my co-host as usual. Oh, hey, it's Chase. What's going on, man?
Hey, I'm doing good. Very excited about today's topic. Very excited about who's joining us today.
It's our producer and friend of the show and buddy, Mike Lother. What's going on, man?
What's up, guys? Thanks so much for having me today. I'm so excited.
Yeah. Oh, me too.
Absolutely.
I just got back from Comic-Con last week, and a big thing that they were promoting was Alien Earth, which comes out next week, I guess. So excited. The Alien TV show, and I mean, I think anybody who's listened to the show once knows that the Alien franchise is one of our favorite franchises. We love it. It's incredible. Literally, I put my kid to bed, and she was listening to, it's called a Tony box. It's basically like a little box that you can put content on. She was listening to me tell the story of aliens from the cat's perspective. So my kid is all stoked about aliens. She's 4, so she hasn't seen any of the movies and won't see any of the movies for a while. But I do want to ask the chat when we get there. I want to ask, how old were they when they saw aliens? When did you guys first see Alien, and what was the Alien movie you saw first? I always love this question because I know Mike's answer.
Mike, I'll let you go first because I want to hear your answer.
Oh man, well, I watched Alien, the original Alien, in college, but I saw Alien Resurrection in theaters. Geez, what was the 97? I saw that with my mom and her fiance, and I was chewing gum, and I remember her yelling, like snapping, like 2 seats down, saying, "Stop chewing your gum so loud!" I was so stressed. It was awesome. I loved that movie.
Yeah. Oh, I love Resurrection. I think it's a solid film. It at least completed Ripley's story in a way that felt appropriate, or at least like a win. Alien 3 is so depressing. Chase, what about you? When were you exposed to Alien?
Well, I had known about Alien, but the first Alien movie I watched was Alien versus Predator when I was like 14. Because my dad, like, I grew up with my dad letting me watch like Arnold Schwarzenegger movies as a kid. So I saw the Predator movies first. And like when Alien versus Predator came out, like in theaters, again, for you younger folks, this was the days before Fandango and the AMC or Regal and, Cinemark apps where you can reserve your seat online. You actually had to wait in line at the box office. And I remember us going to like 3 different theaters, and they were all like lined up. And we finally found one that wasn't as lined up. So, yeah, Alien versus Predator was my first one. I finally got to watch like all the other ones, like teens going into an adult. But yeah, I love these movies.
So good.
Some more than others, but
yeah, sure. I was not allowed to watch any of this stuff. My parents were like, no rated R movies, no rated R movies. And my friend who was allowed to see all the stuff, his dad, we were bowling, and his dad was like, oh, they're going to watch Alien tonight. And then my parents were like, oh, no. And his dad was like, it's not that bad. And like, we were like, I don't know, 9 or 10 at the time. And they're like, it's not that bad. And so my first rated R movie that I got to see was Alien, and we watched it at my buddy's house. And like, it was awesome, but to be honest, it was slightly boring for a kid my age because there's a lot of plot that you don't really care for as a kid. As an adult, I'm like, oh, this is great character building. It's a perfect film. I love everything that's happening. But as a kid, you're like, when's that alien going to pop out of his chest? Because we knew the spoiler. But then because I saw Aliens, I was allowed to see Alien. I was allowed to see Aliens. And that changed the game because as a kid, Aliens is just like a comic book in movie form, just brah, brah, brah. I love that stuff. When it comes to the franchise, the first 2 are so interesting because, in your guys' opinion, how would you describe the first film? Like, what comes to mind when you think about the first Alien film?
It's definitely a horror. It's definitely a horror. And something that no one had seen before in the way they did that. And then obviously the second one is more of an action film.
Such a
Yeah.
tone shift, but somehow it worked. And as we've seen recently, sometimes that doesn't work for your franchise. I'm looking at you, M3 Gan. The tone shift.
Hey, I'm going to defend that. I'm going to because Megan 2.0 was actually a lot of fun.
I'm saying it just deserves, but like for some reason that tone shift didn't work. But the tone shift in Alien, people went batshit crazy for because holy shit, it was badass. I mean, the first film's been described as like a haunted house movie in space, a gothic horror film. It really does have a lot of those elements. And then the second one is just straight up action. I argue that Aliens is the pinnacle of practical effects. It is the height. It is the highest watermark we ever got to before CGI was introduced and we started to dilute how we made movies practically. Not to say for better or for worse. Even James Cameron's been like, if I made Aliens today, I'd use all CG. It's just the way it would have been done. But like what they pulled off with stop motion, miniatures, guys in costumes, gigantic puppets, compositing just every trick in the book. That is the best we ever did. It was right there in Aliens. And I just don't think it's been the same since, which is, again, for better or worse.
I would argue that in Jurassic Park were kind of the pinnacles of practical effects.
Yeah.
Even though Jurassic Park did use some CG, but a lot of stuff they did do practically.
Well, that's where the dam breaks, right? Because that's the first time we ever do CG and pull it off in a way that made people go, whoa, nothing is the same after Jurassic Park. And anybody who's watched the miniseries ILM, which is incredible, if you haven't seen it, holy shit, you guys, it's incredible. Basically, they're making Jurassic Park with stop motion and puppets, and they go to the CGI team, which is two guys in a basement locked in a dungeon, and they're strung out on weed and coke and shit, and they're like, hey, we need you guys to figure out how to make stop motion doesn't have motion blur. We need you guys to figure out how to do vector motion blur in CGI. And one guy who's just like got a mohawk, he looks like just a crust punk, he goes, well, what if I just made the dinosaur in CGI? And they're like, no, you can't do that. And then one day when the freaking like executives are like walking through the dungeon, he just has a T-Rex running on the TV, and they go, what's that? He's like, oh, just a little test I was doing. And they're like, spool that up. We need that to go now. His boss, Phil Tippett, who is a legend in stop motion animation. If you've never seen anything Phil Tippett's done, he did a movie called Mad God, which is absolutely batshit crazy. This is the Phil Tippett studio book. Holy cow. It's so big and fat. This is an incredible book because Phil Tippett, Phil Tippett's company was one of the best to ever do it. Most famously, he did all the stop motion for Empire Strikes Back and onwards, RoboCop. Anyway, Phil Tippett's pissed as shit because he's like, I told you not to do that. And they're like, well, cat's out of the bag. They do a screening and they show this T-Rex running, and Steven Spielberg loses his mind. He goes, that's the future. We got to do this. This is what we got to do. And so they decide to switch it all. And the CG team now has to figure out how to do all the dinosaurs in CGI, 2 men. And out of that, ILM and Pixar are born. So ILM was created before that. ILM was created for Star Wars as Lucas's VFX company. But at that moment, it went to CGI, and it's like, holy cow, they're one of the best VFX CGI places in the world now. But like, yeah, Jurassic Park is just an amazing moment. Just there's before Jurassic Park where you have everything was done practically, and then after Jurassic Park where the computer takes over. It's incredible moments in history, cinema.
So El Inca and KG have a question in the chat.
Yeah.
And I'm glad they asked this question.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we had a little guest on. The Craft Witch came by and gave us a little nice mail day. When she was on the show, she offered to give us shirts from the Overlook Hotel, and they came in the mail, and we just coincidentally, we didn't plan this, but we decided to wear our Craft Witch shirts. They are very nice, handmade, and pretty
comfortable too.
Pretty comfy.
They look awesome.
Yeah, they're
let's
rocking.
comment on
I
it.
dressed mine up with my Ghostbuster jacket. Just you know.
Do we sense a crossover here?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, the Ghostbusters. Do you guys remember the movie Casper?
Oh yeah.
The Ghostbuster cameo that made me love that movie so much. I was talking about this the other night, and my wife goes, "Oh, the moment I realized I like boys." I was like, oh, "Well, why?" And she's like, "Devin Sawa." And I was like, "That's funny because I had a big crush on Christina Ricci from that movie. That movie somehow like was very romantic for for a movie about a dead child." But yes, Mike missed the wear Overlook shirt memo. It's okay.
I just woke up.
So this is we're talking about Alien today because Alien Earth is on Hulu on Tuesday, and everybody's pretty excited about it. KG says he's anxious to see Alien Earth. I am anxious as well because all the trailers make me think they're messing with the timeline. And if you know me, don't mess with my goddamn timeline. Don't mess with my ecology. Is there going to be some black goo in there I'm going to have to hate? Because I hate some black goo. I hate black goo. Yeah, Romulus was great until the black goo showed up. So I am very concerned about Alien Earth. What are your guys' thoughts? Excited, concerned? What are you guys thinking about Alien Earth so far from what you've seen?
Go ahead, Jace.
I'm pretty excited. I'm hoping it takes more. Okay, here's the thing with the Alien films, and I think what has kind of hurt that franchise as the film goes on is that you have the first one, which is kind of, like you said, a very small, intimate, haunted house film in space, but instead of ghosts, it's an alien. James Cameron took it to a different level with Aliens, made it more action, sci-fi, just made it bigger, better, more explosions.
David Fincher gave you a couple of these. David Fincher was like, bleak. I want you to be sad. Fuck you, audience. And you were like, oh God, it's so sad. It's so dark.
And
I love it though.
I think the problem is that every film after that, Alien 3, Resurrection, Prometheus, Alien Covenant, have all tried to top what James Cameron has tried to do. Yes. When the thing is, James Cameron is a one-of-a-kind filmmaker. Love him or hate him, he is a one-of-a-kind filmmaker. A buddy of mine described him as an art house filmmaker who just makes multi-$100 million budget art house films, and I think that's kind of true. But I think what happened was when Alien Romulus came out last year, instead of trying to top what James Cameron did, they were like, you know what, we're going to kind of go back to basics, make it a smaller, more intimate horror movie. And I think that worked. So I kind of hope they kind of keep that vibe of Romulus, where it's kind of more of a smaller, more intimate kind of horror series. But I'm also like, are they going to try and top Aliens? Is it going to match kind of the more tone of trying to be aliens?
It has always been this like the tale of two wolves, and they're always fighting because they can't figure out what the identity of this franchise is. And the comic books did a great job. Sometimes it like Alien Pig is a spaceship with livestock on it, and a pig who is one of the livestock just sees everybody on the ship get murdered, but he kind of likes the alien, and the alien like kind of likes the pig, and they have this like weird, odd friendship. And like at one point, the xenomorph just like pets the pig, and the pig's just like, cool, everybody's dead. I'm eating like a king right now. All these dead bodies are delicious. Like it's so wild. But then you'd have ones that are, Colonel Marines, brat, get some, which everybody loves. And you need a little bit of both, I think. And I don't think any movie has been able to figure it out. I really liked Resurrection, but Resurrection didn't fit the tone. Like it didn't look like any of the other Alien movies, for better or worse. Again, but I like where they went.
Even Ellen Ripley, the character, nothing like the Ellen Ripley of the other films. It's like where she's kind of more a likable, kind of badass hero. Where this one they made her just like
she was scary.
They made her kind of like cocky, kind of like a female Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Mm-hmm.
And again, like Alien Resurrection is fun. The thing is, I'm not a oh god, how do I say this without us getting in trouble with fans?
Oh, don't worry, I'll
not-
piss them off. If you don't piss them off now, I'll piss them off later.
I'm not that. I know it's co-written by Joss Whedon or written by Joss Whedon.
Okay.
I'm not a big. I mean, there's some things that he does where his style works, like the Avengers. I feel like that worked with
Mhm.
something like Alien, where it's just a lot of quirky dad joke, one-liner kind of punchlines, and it's just like, this isn't what the Alien franchise is. Like,
Sure. Sure. It's interesting too because like Alien 3 is a reaction to what was happening in the studio systems in the 90s. The original Alien script, before it was ever anything you could possibly imagine, the original script is about monks living in a bio-tree spaceship. I kid you not, a forest floating in space. And they have disavowed technology, so they're living in this floating tree. And Alien 3, because they went through so many scripts and couldn't find one that they liked, they were like, well, let's go back to this tree thing. And they're like, well, the tree's weird, but we'll have these monks that have disavowed technology. And then they're like, okay, it's a prison planet. And when they finally brought Fincher on, he was so annoyed with everything they had done. Literally everything about it is him trying to say, no, big middle finger to the studios. I'm making the movie I want. I'm spending all your fucking money. I'm going so far over budget. We're building the biggest set ever built in existence at the time. It was the biggest set ever. I am killing off your main character, which they didn't want to do, but he got Sigourney Weaver to be like, I'm dying at the end of this. That's how it goes. Because she was so tired of the bullshit as well. Like, it's insane how this is a reaction to the studios. Whereas then Resurrection is a reaction to Alien 3. Prometheus is a reaction to there not being any Aliens movies for a long time. And it's just like, it's all been a reaction as opposed to a continuation. And that's an interesting place to come from when you're making a movie, as opposed to being like, I want to make this movie and tell this story, as opposed to, I want to stuff it in the studio's faces, or I want to bring the franchise back. I need to bring it back on track. I mean, we see that a lot of times, even with the latest Star Wars stuff. It's like people trying to course correct as opposed to tell a new story.
Absolutely.
Did you guys hear about the Alien 3 Legacy cut?
Yep.
I have.
Yep, I have it. It's interesting. It's longer. Have you seen it?
I haven't watched the whole thing. I skimmed through it because it's a free download, and I was like, "What is this? This is cool." I read a whole subreddit thing about it, and really cool that people took the time to go and try and repair something that was so broken.
The thing that
Now,
I will always be.
I
Go ahead, Jace. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
I said the thing I will always be sorry that happened, and we got a comic book that course corrected this. Like, they did Newt dirty. What a great character. She survived. She survived the nightmares of space, only to like die before the movie even starts in the third one. Same thing with Colonel Hicks. It's like, you had Sean Bean. You didn't want to bring Sean Bean back? And they were like, the studio was like, we can't afford Sean Bean. We don't want to have a kid in this movie. And they were like, oh, okay, well, dead. And I thought that sucked. And if you read the comic book, which is like the story of Newt, of how she survives aliens, her and Hicks, Hicks and Ripley like form a little family and fight aliens. And it had a happy ending, which nobody wanted to make in the late 90s, early 2000s, late 90s. When did Alien 3 come out? Late 90s. Nobody wanted to make a happy movie. They wanted bleak. They wanted it to be terrible. But it's like, I wanted a happy ending for Newt. Of all those characters, she deserves something better than to die in cryo sleep. Bullshit.
Now, so I have not seen this Legacy cut, but I do have a question.
Yeah.
So I own the Alien 6 film set. With Alien 3, there's the theatrical R-rated cut, and then I haven't had time to watch the unrated, but there's an unrated cut. Would that be the same one, or is that something completely different?
No, so he refused to go back and do a director's cut. So this is people off of his original script notes trying to assemble it. It's been called the assembly cut. It's been called the unauthorized director's cut. It's been called the legacy cut. I think the legacy cut is the most polished version of this because it's like they redid the sound to it before the director's cut, and the unauthorized director's cut and the editor's cut didn't have the sound remixed to match. So the legacy cut kind of did that. It's longer. It doesn't come from a dog. It comes from a cow this time, which is weird. And it has more interaction with Bishop. Like she plugs Bishop in and gets more interaction out of him. Her relationship with the Father of Dragons from Game of Thrones is more defined. Like they have more of a romance that doesn't seem to come out of nowhere. They justify a lot of stuff.
Last Action Hero? That guy?
Yeah.
I love that guy.
Dude, Last Action Hero is one of the most underrated films of all time. I love this movie.
Totally.
But yeah, it's like it's been interesting. So the comic books, I've always argued, have done a better job than any of the later movies have done, as fun as they are. But like Alien Earth is like the thing they've been threatening us the whole time is if the xenomorph gets to Earth, there'll be hell to pay. And Alien versus Predator Requiem kind of delivered on that promise on a small scale. I want to see how big they'll take this. This, from the trailers, we're going to see new aliens, not xenomorphs, just different planetary creatures. There's new species to be discovered, which, okay. All right. Show me what you got. I'm excited about that.
Well, that normally happens when the face hugger gets on any new kind of organism, right? It'll produce a different kind of xenomorph, right?
If you go by the Kenner toys, absolutely. This is my it's too much glare. This is my snake alien.
Oh yeah, there you go.
So in these toys, they came with a little comic book. And it would show how the alien came, and there was like a gorilla alien, a snake alien, a mantis alien, all sorts of crazy different ones, and like that stuff was awesome to me. The movies have always kind of been all over the place. I mean, you had the dog alien, but then Prometheus came out. It's like, oh, bets are off. We don't know what happens when you do anything. It's a shark alien comes out of their bodies, and you're like, wait, what was that? And they're like, giant face hugger, but not. And you're like, what? But why? I mean, even in Romulus, the cocoon was introduced, which was like new, not necessarily bad, but highly concerning for somebody as annoying as me.
I did love that movie very, very much.
I did too.
Chase and I have talked about it a lot too. I saw it 3 times in movie theaters.
Yeah,
I was just happy we were getting another Alien, but they, if I could step out of the bubble that I love it so much inside this bubble. If I step outside of it and look at it from a different point of view, it's a very good movie. It's not bad.
Romulus,
yeah.
I mean, 100%. If I close my eyes and pretend that the weird baby monster was a xenomorph, it's a perfect alien movie.
Well, you know why I like it, because
yeah. I think they did a great job. I mean, the facehugger stuff in that movie is fantastic. The anti-gravity xenomorph blood scene, come on, that was awesome.
That was awesome. I saw it, and we've had Chris Carlson on the show a few times.
Yeah.
Chris and I have so many different perspectives, because when we were talking about it after we both saw it, he was like, it felt like a video game. It didn't feel like a movie. And I was like, yeah, that's pretty damn cool. I think that's awesome. And Fede Alvarez got the inspiration for this movie and what this would look and feel like because he played Alien Isolation, which is a video game that takes place in between 1 and 2.
Yeah, awesome.
And you play Ellen Ripley's daughter, which is really sick.
It's great.
That is the scariest game I've ever played, and I'm really big on horror games and Resident Evil and Silent Hill. And the atmosphere, the sound, everything felt like being on the Nostromo, like that. Ooh, that
I love it.
That trapped feeling. You don't even see the alien for the first 2 hours, and it's terrifying.
El Inca asks, predators have been visiting Earth for centuries. Why not xenomorphs doing the same? Specifically for this, in the first film, they go to LV-246 and they answer a distress beacon, right? They find the xenomorph. We know what happens. In the second film, the company, Weyland-Yutani, says, well, we have settlers on LV-246 and we've never seen any of this. We think you're lying. And she goes and proves them wrong. If they had discovered, the first two films are basically the genesis of discovering the alien. Then in Prometheus, some humans and a robot and his robot clone created the xenomorph. So now humans know that the xenomorphs exist. That retcons what's happening in the first two films. In my opinion, that's unnecessary. If you say that the alien made it all the way to Earth before any of these movies happened, everything that these movies have been trying to stop, which is Weyland-Yutani getting a xenomorph back to Earth, is now retconned. It's like in one of the later Terminator films when they're like, oh, the first two films, the whole point of those movies is fate is what you make it. Then the third film's like, fate's inevitable, fuck that shit. And you're like, wait, what? Wait, you can't take out the core like theme of the movie. And I feel like if the alien has already made it to Earth, then Weyland-Yutani already knows. And if they already know, it changes a lot of what happens in the first and second film, and at least why they're doing it. Which, again, probably doesn't matter unless you're a freak like me who gets all black about that stuff. Oh.
You know, I've always said with Prometheus, Mike, I'm sorry, I know you enjoy this movie. I always said it's a great science fiction film, terrible alien film.
Yes.
I hear
you.
One of my favorite episodes of Launchpad I've listened to is your Prometheus episode, and like
I was yelling watching that.
Yeah, Aaron, you brought up a good point where it's kind of the Phantom Menace problem, where it's a prequel to the other ones, but somehow the technology is far superior than the first film.
Romulus felt like an actual alien movie. It fit. Your design aesthetic is 1980s sci-fi core just being licked by H.R. Giger weird pseudo-sexual nightmare shit. Like that's what that whole vibe is. And Prometheus and Covenant felt like a completely different like Spider-Verse, which look, there were certain things about it that I do like the idea of. I love the idea of the engineers and they're spreading DNA across the universe. Where it bumps me is that a human made creation, the robot, accidentally creates a xenomorph, where it's like one of the rules about bad guys is don't explain where your bad guys come from, because it never adds to their story. The ecology of the alien is such a perfect thing. Facehugger pops out, he grows up, kills more people, queen lays eggs. Explaining where it all came from is unnecessary in a way, but you do get cool creatures and you get cool scenes and you're expanding on the mythos. And one of the biggest things stems from a Guillermo del Toro project called At the Mountains of Madness. At the Mountains of Madness, a very, very famous book written by H.P. Lovecraft. Guillermo del Toro has wanted to make this forever. And he wrote a script and he's like, I'm trying to get it made. I want to get notes. Oh, Ridley Scott, will you read it? And Ridley Scott says, I'm too busy to read your script, Guillermo del Toro, but I'm going to hand it off to this guy who whose name I don't remember, but he was one of the writers of Prometheus. And he was one of the staff writers on Lost.
Damon.
Yes, that guy.
Yeah.
Who has most famously said,
Lindelof.
Yeah, Lindelof. He's like, I don't like answering questions. I like asking them. Cool. So, At the Mountains of Madness, if you haven't read it, it's about explorers who go to the Arctic and they find remnants hieroglyphics of an ancient civilization, and that ancient civilization had a slave race of creatures whose DNA was malleable. Anything they wanted these creatures to become, they would become to serve their tasks. These creatures were slaves to the bigger creatures, but they started to turn these creatures into weapons, and they had a war and they destroyed each other. Holy shit, what movie does that sound like? At the Mountains of Madness is what Prometheus is. Because the movie didn't do so great at the box office, Guillermo del Toro can't make At the Mountains of Madness anymore because they ripped him off. And it makes me,
That's a bummer. That really is.
Yeah,
That
man.
really
Which, man, wouldn't you rather see some H.P. Lovecraft, Guillermo del Toro action?
Is that test footage from that movie out? Because I heard there was what was it, like a 5-10 minute scene that Guillermo made.
Yeah, I've never seen it, but it's out. Like, apparently you can dig deep and find it because people leaked it because it was so damn cool. But it's in the vein of like The Thing. You have something that's DNA is malleable and can become whatever you want, and I'm like, that's dope. But like even down to like the hieroglyphics, it's like that was all about what like Prometheus was and like discovering the perfect organism. Sick shit.
Well, one thing I do want to touch on, and I know that kind of dampers it a lot too, because it's like, come on, guys, why'd you have to do that?
Yeah.
I went into Prometheus. I didn't see the trailer, and so when I saw it, I didn't know it was going to be an alien movie. I had no idea. So that reveal at the end was huge for me because I did not expect it. My expectations were really low for this movie to begin with.
Yeah.
So I walked in and I was like, oh, it's just another sci-fi horror movie. And I enjoyed it because there were some fun scenes.
It's a great sci-fi movie. It is a great sci-fi movie. When she gives herself a space abortion, I mean, for lack of a better term, that shit's gnarly.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that was my favorite scene. That was fucking awesome.
She is a phenomenal actress too. It's well acted.
She's so good.
There's so much cool stuff happening in it, but then, yeah, it would have been awesome if you were like, "Whoa, it's an alien thing," but it took a minute to get there.
Yeah, and I think Romulus was such a just kind of a comeback for new alien material, and I really hope Alien Earth does the same. To me, Alien Earth kind of feels like they're just doubling down and trying to put some more content out there, and do we need it? I don't know.
I hope that it is not trying to change anything from the alien story. If it's just like there are xenomorphs here and this is what happens, that's cool. That's in line with what the comic books would do. It's like, hey, you ran into a xenomorph, what do you do? Putting it in different scenarios. It's not trying to change who the xenomorphs are or what they do or anything about them. The later Alien comics that just came out of Marvel are wild, because this woman, when she gets a face hugger on her, sees the future of what the aliens evolve into, and like there's this like humanoid queen alien thing that is like, it's like a human with the huge head crest, fucking crazy. And it was one of those things that's like, you're like, well, it could be a dream or it could be real, but it was like she had a glimpse to the hive mind of the aliens. I was like, that's cool. That's fun. I don't know if we need it for content, but yes, we are all going to watch it and either love it or complain about it. Peace out, Chaos. Thanks for listening.
Oh, yeah, thanks. Good seeing you, Chaos. My thing is too, I feel like, again, like I mentioned, I think the thing is that Alien had really kind of become diluted. It didn't really know what it wanted to be. Like similar to Predator. I feel like Predator had that same problem.
Right.
Which I don't want to go too much into it because I know we're going to talk about Predator here in a few months. Wink, wink. It's kind of like Prey came out and it was kind of like, we're going to take it back to basics. We're not going to do an alien or predator planet with hundreds of predators. Like, it's just a predator comes to Earth, hunts who he feels like are the greatest hunters, And I feel like that's what Alien Romulus was. It was like, yeah, we're not going to do big macho man military dudes shooting aliens. We're going to take it back to basics. We're going to have a simple group of people, one alien going after them. And I feel like that's where it worked. So, I'm just curious to see the tone of it. Is it going to be
100%.
kind of that action sci-fi, or is it going to be kind of a, more intimate horror series?
I think we're going to get a little bit of both, because I have seen some soldier footage, but at the same time, a lot of people like sneaking and hiding from something. Maybe it's a xenomorph, but we are being promised some new creatures. One of the most interesting lines in Aliens is one of the guys, I forget his name, the blonde guy who hangs out with Vasquez. He goes, "Is this going to be something real or just another bug hunt?" What does he mean by that? Have they experienced other aliens? Because in the first Alien film, their whole thing is like, it's an undocumented species. We have to go down and check it out if it's proof of alien life. From my understanding, in the first Alien film, they had never encountered an otherworldly creature. But by the second film, they're like, is it another bug hunt? What have you been shooting? What is that all about? I could watch that movie all day. Like, did those guys survive Starship Troopers? And it's like, what is it?
Is that the plant that maybe is the thing for Alien Earth? Kind of like Rogue One, where that movie was entirely based on that one line from Mon Mothma.
Yeah.
Like, millions of Bothans died to get us this information for the Death Star. So I don't think that could be it. They could just have taken that. Maybe we'll find out.
Could be interesting, because it's like, Ripley, between the first and second film, was in cryosleep for years. Like, what? Yeah. I don't know how long it was, like 100 years. She was in there a long time, because they had enough time to colonize LV-246 and have all this extra stuff. Technology didn't advance that much, but their expanse of space sure did, which is impressive.
Yeah, and her. Did you guys see that Easter egg that was in Romulus, where Ripley's cryosleep ship was on the space station? It's in the background. I can link it afterwards, but in the scene where was it where they locked the girl outside of the door? Was it Isabella Merced who got locked out of the door and then gets snatched and pulled away? And anyway, in the background, you can see it like all the way in the background, just kind of standing up. And then when the space station gets demolished into the rings of that planet, you can see it just kind of shoot away. It was so cool. I'll link you guys. I'll put it out there. I'll link everybody in our Discord on the socials.
Awesome.
For it. But yeah, it was a really cool Easter egg, and Fede was kind of denying it because he wasn't supposed to put it in, but he did it anyway.
That's cool.
It's pretty dope. So everything kind of ties together. I do want to ask you guys what your thoughts are about Alien 5 with Blomkamp when he tried to bring it back. Did you guys see that? And he put out a bunch of concept art for it.
Yeah. So he and Sigourney Weaver were trying to bring back Ripley, and it was he wanted to retcon it. He basically wanted to go 1, 2, 5. He wanted to retcon everything, but he got stonewalled by the studio and Ridley Scott. And I don't know what Blomkamp's deal is, because that guy's brilliant. All his shorts that he puts out are amazing. Like, go watch Zygote. Go watch Firebase. Like, go watch his shorts, the Oats Studio shorts. Wild. But he somehow can't get another movie made. He made one of the best films ever, and then made 2 films that weren't super well received, but they're not bad. Like, I liked Elysium. I didn't mind Chappie, but people didn't like Chappie. But like, now he can't get a movie made, and it's a bummer, because I think he's a brilliant filmmaker.
I agree.
Now, when was this supposed to come out? Was this supposed to be before District 5 or District 9, I mean, or was it after he had made District 9? The Alien 5.
This was after. I think he had already done Chappie, and I think he was on to his next thing. He did something with Netflix, right? And Sigourney Weaver Was that what you were talking about, Aaron?
Let's see.
It's like a bunch of short films.
It was called Oat Studio Shorts.
Oh, Studios, that's it.
Yeah, it wasn't just Sigourney Weaver. It was a bunch of other stuff.
Mhm.
But like the images out of this, here, let me see if I can bring this up. Because my thing won't let me share screens right now because it's being annoying. But let's see if this works. Can you guys see this? Did I share a screen?
No, I don't see it yet.
Yeah, I'll see it.
Add to stage. Boom, there we go.
There it is.
So yeah, here's the stuff where it's like they go and find the ship and Hicks lives and there's like aliens that they like retrofit with like machinery and she uses like alien like technology, xenomorph technology to do like it sounded absolutely crazy. And really, really cool. But
Got some story beats here.
Yeah.
So in this, Ripley, Hicks, and Newt are still alive.
yeah,
The company manages to successfully get a hold of a derelict, which is I think what you see there, like in the warehouse that they
Yeah.
have. The company manages to breed a queen and finally get the xenomorph into their bioengineering division, possibly by putting eggs on either an offshore oil rig or space station, or maybe both. Hicks and Ripley run a terrorist operation into the facility. The company makes guns out of xenomorph parts, which is so sick. That's probably what you see there with Ripley in the suit. There are some androids. Face huggers are now some kind of worm that digs into your body. Hicks dies again. And then Ripley faces off against the queen in a power suit, this time made of alien parts. That's it right there. And then Ripley kills the queen. So it doesn't look
Sounds
like we're
awesome.
going to get it. That would have been so fun.
Yeah, I would have been super down with that. But like I said, Sigourney Weaver was way into it, but they the studio stonewalled and Ridley Scott was like, no way, Jose.
Damn.
Yeah,
Could-
damn.
Got some. Ooh.
We really could have.
And
But yeah, Ridley Scott apparently is so defensive of his Prometheus saga that he's like, no, you can't retcon it ever, or face my wrath. So just gotta wait for him.
Yeah, I did see. Sorry, Chase. I did see
Oh, no, you're good.
Fede was saying something like how they like put a whole rough cut of the movie together, and that's the first time Ridley Scott even saw anything.
Yeah.
Hey,
What's up, Craftwitch? Woo!
hey, Craftwitch.
Yes, thank you for the shirts. Thanks for tuning in.
thank you.
Yeah, poor Hicks dies again. So Extra Delight says the Alien TV series is perfect. I hope that means
Oh.
you've seen it. I am hearing great reviews, which can be good. I always like hearing good reviews, but I am always nervous when it comes to a property like this. You know, you're like, I need to show some art, guys. I got some art. Here's my oh god, it's gonna be so glary. Here's my Ripley. This is painted on driftwood, and her eyes glow in the dark, which is super great. I got that a long time
Awesome.
ago. Yeah, and then my screen. For some reason, I'm getting an error about sharing my screen, but I have some really awesome toys in the background. I don't know if you can see them over my shoulder, but I got the power loader, the Queen Alien, and Ripley fighting some aliens inside a little Queen Alien scene. Oh yeah, here's my Ecto 1 all lit up with lights.
You know what's funny is Zach, our other co-founder here at Block of Horror, his wife Anya worked. She was a second AD on Avatar 2 and 3.
Oh my!
And they were super nice and invited me to the wrap party when they finished production at Manhattan Beach on the soundstage before they went to New Zealand. So I went and I met Jim, very nice guy. I got to shake his hand. And then a bunch of the crew was standing around in a circle, and I met one of them, and I went up, and I was just kind of weaseled my way into the circle and just kind of standing there listening. And I was looking around, and holy shit, it's Sigourney Weaver in this little circle of like 6 people talking. And I don't know why this happened, because I love Aliens so much, but my brain just defaulted to, holy shit, that's the girl from Ghostbusters.
Yeah. I mean, not mad.
I don't know what it was. I don't get starstruck all the time, but for that, to me, I think because she was just a normal human being, I think that's where my brain defaulted to. And I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe this is insane. But yeah, I just wanted to share that because
That's awesome.
It was a crazy experience.
That's amazing. Look at all of Mikey's. Yeah. Mike goes for that brutalist design decor where I think Chase and I are maximalist to the max. The alien toy I keep holding up. This is from the Batman versus the Alien 2, and it's the Joker. The Joker kidnaps a xenomorph and paints him. So yeah, it's weird. The second one's really weird. The first Batman versus Aliens is pretty solid. He's in the jungle and he fights a giant crocodile alien, which is sick. It's kind of a cross between Predator and Batman. So Batman's down in the jungle doing detective stuff. Don't ask, it doesn't matter. He runs into a team of like Colombian SWAT team, like elite mercenaries, and they're looking for something too. And they come into this area that's full of xenomorphs and people getting attacked. So Batman has to fight the aliens, and a crocodile gets face huggered, and this crocodile alien comes. It's sick. It's good stuff. But not as good as Batman versus Predator, that 3 series. Please go read that. But yeah, Batman versus Xenomorph, and then Batman versus Aliens 2, you get this weird abomination. But like, come on, a Joker Xenomorph, that's cool. I'm down for that.
I'm digging it.
Yeah. It's a cool idea. I liked it. Although he doesn't stand up very well. No Xenomorph toy stands on its own.
No. The only Xenomorph toy I have is this stylized figure from Mezco.
Yeah.
And it came with the egg and the face hugger.
I like that though.
And then of course from Alien Romulus last year. I don't have Regals near me, but I did get the Regal
snagged it.
Popcorn bucket.
Nice.
That's sick though. I wish the little mouth would like pop out and dispense some popcorn.
Yeah.
like a Pez machine.
Like a Pez machine. That is a missed opportunity. Alien Pez, come on.
They bring that back. Yeah. Man, Pez, so good.
I love Pez.
Come on, guys.
Oh my God. That's sick. I forgot what I was talking about. Somewhere in there's aliens. I'm always just excited to see what people do with aliens. I don't care if it's the OG haunted house stuff or if it's Marines shooting them up. I'm down for whatever. But I will say this. The video games where you're sneaking around as opposed to the ones that are just brat brat shooting stuff are always way cooler than the ones that are just shoot 'em up. So I think there's something to that where it's like, if you can't, I don't think you can beat Aliens at its own game, but I think you can add something to a cat and mouse hide and seek game that we haven't seen before. And I think Romulus did a great job of bridging that gap where we had some gunplay in it for sure, but we also had a lot of good cat and mouse, like slow pace, slow burn, scare your pants off type stuff.
Yeah, it was really good. They have Alien Isolation 2 is in development. So
shut the front door.
Yep, they announced it pretty recently, I think, off the heels of Romulus.
What could it possibly be? What do you think?
It's a good question. Well, I forget how it ended because we did see a photo of Ellen Ripley's daughter as like an elderly woman, right? In Aliens, wasn't that a thing? Where when they bring Ellen, sorry, when
I
they bring
just
Ripley
I
back,
just watched it this week and I don't remember that. I just
with what happened? Because remember they brought her back to Earth, and then Paul Reiser is talking to her, and she finds out she had a daughter. Well, she knew she had a daughter, but her
yeah.
daughter's dead.
Yeah.
So
She's been frozen so long her daughter's dead.
yeah, but she died of old age, right?
Yeah.
So
that's what I remember.
I think so. Yeah. So Ellen Ripley's daughter in the game is a young woman, so maybe she did survive. And then
Add some more.
yeah, maybe there's more. Yeah.
To KJ's point, KG's point, I love blowing away zombies in video games. I'm just saying the Alien games that they've made, like Firebase Elite and Colonel Marines, haven't, and could just be the developers, but they haven't been as good as the hide and seek game like Alien Isolation. And purely it's because the games that have been shoot 'em up are up against games like Halo or Left 4 Dead, even if you're gonna like pick a good like blow away zombie game. And those games did that better than the Alien specific IP shoot 'em up versions. But that could just be a development problem. It's hard to make a video game, guys.
It ain't easy. It ain't easy.
Yeah, you'd think it'd be easy. Yeah, just shoot some aliens, right? And it's like, yeah, but there's level design, and then you got to make it like interesting, and then like make you want to play it for hours on end. It's tough.
Mm-hmm. I think there's a VR Alien game that came out recently it looks great. It's not doing so well in the reviews, and it seems very promising. Let's see what it's called.
What was it? Alien VR game. Was it not just Alien Rogue Incursion?
That's the one. Yeah.
Oh,
it's half off.
What? It is for meta. I could put it on my headset.
You should give it a shot. It looks like Isolation. You get the little scanner thing that you can walk around with. It looks terrifying.
Beep 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 beep.
Mm-hmm.
My kid is obsessed with Jonesy the cat. It's going to be hilarious when she watches the movie and finds out that the movie is not about Jonesy the cat. Like, wait. Speaking to the choir. Yeah, it's hard to make a video game. What's up, Karen? Welcome back.
Hello.
So it's as we get to the end here, what is the one thing that Alien Earth needs to do to be like, all right, I'm on board?
Mike, I'll let you go first.
I think it needs to add, like you were saying, Aaron, I think it needs to add to the universe and not replace or change anything. I think it has to be like its own thing where I love stories like that. Kind of like Rogue One. It kind of just slipped in there and filled a little, like explained a little bit, but it didn't change it didn't retcon anything. We don't want to retcon anything. We want something new. Bringing them to Earth. I mean, what freaking timeline is that? It's so weird.
Yeah, that's the thing is like the Alien versus Predator timeline where they got to Earth and had this like town. If it's quelled properly, I could see that in the future, Weyland-Yutani would be like, I don't know what's going on. Because like in the end of Alien versus Predator Requiem, they give them some Predator tech, and it's like Weyland-Yutani just becomes the Skynet of that universe, which is cool. I mean, again, that works. But like you said, don't change what makes the alien so good. Like, don't tell me that he can suddenly sprout wings or something random unless you give me a good reason for that. Like, I mean, the toy series did a great job. There was a bad alien and it was sick. So I could buy it if you sell it to me properly, but we just got it's got to be done right. What do you think, Chase?
Don't do anything too stupid. Don't try to make it too big. Don't try to make it too big. Don't try to, like you said, just have all of a sudden aliens have wings now. Do its own thing. Try to make it fun. Yeah, just don't try to retcon anything. I agree with that. I think that's kind of, for me, what hurt Alien. I mean, for me, that hurt Prometheus and Alien Covenant. Like I said, I enjoy Prometheus as a sci-fi action movie, but I hate it as an alien movie. And I hate Alien Covenant. That's to me, that's bottom of the barrel for the Alien franchise.
What, you don't like clone androids playing each other's flutes? That was for multiple scenes. I learned how to play the flute from that movie. I went home after watching it. I was like, it was great.
I did like Danny McBride. I thought having him in an Alien movie was great. I think he was probably the best part of that.
100%.
Yeah, I agree with that. Which is sad because Michael Fassbender was the best part of Prometheus, and then to me, he's the worst part of Alien Covenant.
Bit off more than they could chew. Again, don't overshow your hand. Like,
yeah, exactly.
What made Jaws good is we didn't see the shark the whole time. I don't need to see where Jaws came from to know that it's cool. I never needed to find out where the xenomorphs came for, and I especially didn't want to find out it came from human meddling, which made me sad. But anyway, again, like what you like. Chaos said, you know what? Chaos is 100% right. I'm going to go back to his quote he said, because I get annoying about it. Gotta run. Don't let these guys beat you down. Love what you love. He's 100% right. Don't let my negative attitude. Again, if you want it, I've talked for 4 or 5 hours about what's wrong with those movies, but if you like it, good for you. All I want is to keep the franchise going.
I have another suggestion.
Yeah.
Don't oversaturate the product. So if Alien Earth's successful, don't give every fucking character their own spinoff or spinoff movie or spinoff series. Because to be quite frank, that's what's killed the MCU for me.
That's time.
What's killed Star Wars for me. Big and it time. Seems like now, because of course we know Disney now owns the Alien franchise because
she's a Disney princess.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm kind of worried about, is that they saw that Alien Romulus was successful. If this is successful, I'm scared that we're going to get all these different spin-offs, and just keep it simple. Just keep your movies and maybe do something like the Alien Earth series. Just don't oversaturate the product and kill the product like you guys did Star Wars. So
yeah, I agree with that. Go to the comic books. When in doubt, go back to the Dark Horse comic books. They somehow got it right. And it's because they didn't want to change anything. They just wanted to tell you more stories. And if you get something like the comic book version of Alien versus Predator, or you get something like Alien Pig out of it, I will be so thrilled. The vision I had for if the xenomorph ever got to Earth was a scene where people are in a like baseball stadium or a football stadium, and they all wake up and the stadium has been turned into a hive, and everybody's like stuck to their chairs, and then just like an avalanche of chest bursters just start going at once, just like bah, 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 bah. And just the chest bursters just rolling down the stairs, and just like thousands of people bursting at once, and just this horrific scene that's like, apocalyptic to the next level. And then like the Queen aliens down on the field being like, yeah, Beyonce at a halftime show, just like my minions rise. Like, I think that's what I always wanted to see if the xenomorphs ever got to Earth. I doubt we will ever get anything that bombastic or over the top, but damn, that would be cool.
God, I see the aerial shot of that, and it's just like a red mist of blood.
Xeno princess, yeah. I mean, Ellen Ripley and the xenomorph can be Disney princesses. The Queen alien, she's a Disney princess. I love it, man. It's one of my all-time favorite series. I think the first film is 100% perfect, no notes. The second one is on par in just a different sphere. I love both of them so much, and they will always have a place in my heart. And then the third one I have to watch every couple of years when I want to like punish myself. Like, man, you're just having too good of a run. Time to tamper down that mood, man. Let's get bleak. You're like, no. Oh boy. Well, this has been super fun, guys. When we come back, I'm going to Boston tomorrow to go play with zombies. It's gonna be fun. I'm still planning on there being a show next week, but who knows what schedule they're going to throw at us. I'll keep you guys all posted. But hopefully next week we can all chat about Alien Earth in a relatively spoiler-free. We'll tell you how cool it is and maybe talk about some other things if it's too spoilery.
True that. Before you guys go, Aaron, did you see Weapons yet?
No, I'm seeing it next week. I'm going next week.
Okay, no spoilers. Chase and I were losing it. It's
so good.
So
yeah, we were messaging each other like Thursday and yesterday, like, oh my god.
my hotel in Boston is across the street from a movie theater, so
you have to go. You have to go.
It's-
I don't know if you look, but anybody out there who has never heard of this movie, don't even look at the cast. Don't look at the IMDb. Do not look at anything. Walk into this movie blind.
just like Barbarian. I saw that
Just
movie
like-
with zero input and was like,
Yes.
whoa. So I cannot wait to see. We
Yeah.
got to give away some blood coin, guys. It's super easy. Alien. That was pretty simple. Go
Xeno Princess.
Xeno Princess. Wait, should we change it or is it too late?
No, do it. You could go both ways.
All right. So Xeno Princess.
What's up, Disney?
That
Give us
is
an
hilarious.
alien theme park.
Xeno Princess. Did I spell that right or did I muck that up?
That's
you
it.
spelled that right.
Yeah. Oh, for one time I
Canon.
did. Dude,
And enough.
at our panel about weapons, I'm a terrible speller, but like people were just ribbing the shit out of me because I kept spelling shit wrong, and we had a gravity gun that ended up being the gravy gun, and they thought that was hysterical. So,
Hey, Gravy Gun sounds awesome.
yeah, KG's gonna watch. He's gonna go see Weapons on Tuesday, then run home and watch Alien Earth.
Yeah.
You know what? We should not even. It doesn't even matter if the film Weapons falls into like a subject that we're talking about in the future.
Yeah,
I don't think we should talk about it for at least 6 months
I agree.
at all.
Yeah, let everybody see it.
give
like,
him space.
That's on our banned list just so people can watch it.
Yeah, and what I heard was that script was in a bidding war with a bunch of studios because it was so good. And then I think maybe they were in post when the announcement came out that director is rebooting the Resident Evil series, which I think he totally deserves to do after what he's already done. So
oh my gosh.
big task, but I mean the bar is low. The bar is low. Come on.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Literally, all you have to do is make it anything like the video games, and you will have already made a better
Dude,
movie.
make the first one into a movie and then add all of this lore because there was a whole shark thing that was in there where you go under the house.
Yeah. Well, that was
sharks
introduced
in the
in
GameCube.
Yeah. Zero, I think.
Yeah.
But it was
Mhm.
sick. I just need a scene where Leon's looking for a green plant for like half an hour. Like that game, it's always so funny to me. We could do a whole thing on Resident Evil.
We
Those
should.
games
Yeah.
make me laugh so hard because a movie progresses. Those games, there's always a moment where I'm out of bullets and out of health, and I'm just running around the mansion, just going, spinning in circles, trying to find some dumb key, a bullet, one bullet, and some plant to heal myself. And it's like, if that's what the movie was, it'd be such a stupid, terrible movie. Because it's just Leon being like, he runs into a room, there's a zombie, runs away, tries to find a plant, and then it's just like him eating the whole plant. It's so dry. I need some water. This tastes terrible. And then it's like, does it heal him? How does a plant heal him? I don't know. Is he rolling it up? Is he sparking it? Is he like, how is he getting healed from eating these red plant, green plant? Like, come on. I love those games though. They're so damn good. All right, guys. Plugs. Let's plug it up. Mike,
Oh,
what do you got
hey
going on?
guys. Well, hey, it's all block of horror over here. Check out the virtual world. In a couple of months, we're rebuilding. We're putting a lot of great, cool stuff in there. Got a lot of new things coming. Perhaps a choose your own adventure thing in the works right now with our partner Adventure.
Ooh.
So stay tuned for that. We'll put out some announcements for that and go in and get your blood coin in the Discord.
Sick. Yeah, Chase, what do you got going on?
Yeah, of course. Again, thank you, Mike. Always great having you joining us. And yeah, whenever we were like aliens, I was like, oh hell yeah, because I know how you're a big fan too. And when we did this episode last year when we were on X Spaces, you joined us as well. So yeah, always a pleasure having you on. Of course, see me here every Saturday with you, Aaron, on Half Hour of Horror. You can follow me on Instagram, Letterboxd, Blue Sky, X at OhayesChase, and TikTok at OhayesChase_.
And then you can follow me here, Half Hour Horror, and then on my other show, The Launchpad Pod. We just dropped our NECA booth tour where Blaine Rodenbaugh walks us through all the releases, including the amazing Jason designed by Tom Savini from the video game. That is coming out soon, which looks sick. Yeah, really excited. I'm heading out to Boston, so I think you guys will be first to hear some cool tidbits from the new season of Walking Dead, season 3. It's going to be some fun stuff in that. And then, till then, next time, we'll see you. Have fun.